Wow. Now I'm starting to learn more about the whole live situation literally over here. But good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for literally taking a moment to listen and seeing what's going on. Truly appreciate you guys actually coming out. Um, I have like a little bit of some little good small achievements and a little bit of small wins here. Still figure out new ways of how I can try to improve the channel and how to actually try to boost traffic. I might be just doing like a little bit of experiments, doing a little bit of archaeology, if you will, basically just going on, just like playing around, doing some try fail stuff, see what works, see what basically doesn't, see what type of stuff I could try to put momentum on. This algorithm stuff is literally, literally no joke. And basically, you tend to actually go through the social media route, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, generally speaking, Instagram, depending on the mindsets, of those companies and of those platforms. It's hard to thoroughly predict how the algorithm is actually going to move, whether it's going to be in your favor or whether it's going to be against you. You know what I'm saying? Which is one of the reasons I'm actually going to bring that up a little bit later. Um, so, how should I say this? Um, this stuff ain't gonna lie. This stuff is really, really difficult. You can't predict what's really going on. And I got a little bit of some traction here, which I actually truly appreciate. I know certain folks, basically just looked at some of the tags I had posted up and, some of the actual channel holders, basically that officially actually got word of it. I know this one that I remember that I did a video of about 6 months ago, basically making some very, very tough criticism on like some manosphere, quote unquote, pseudo alpha guru, however it may be. Basically was being heavily critical towards basically like a very, very young group at the time. They were actually trying to be the knockout version of Fresh and Fit. Now today they are still the knockout version of Fresh and Fit, even though they've matured basically a bit. They hadn't really gone as aggressive as Fresh and Fit at all. They have actually been much more mature and much more civil. But again, they're still doing like the whole repetitive craziness over and over and over again every single week to the point of no return, making it like a modern day Jerry Springer, right? And one of the hosts here basically actually took word of what's really going on and was really spooked. And I know another fellow woman actually came by. I believe I tagged her up in a post at the time. Um, Basically, was actually trying to let her know the issue, if they still actually want to go or they still want to actually try and talk about it. And then she was literally being like all frustrated and everything. I want to try and make something extremely, extremely clear. All right. The main reason while I mainly put hashtags, I mainly put handles based on titles, based on descriptions, and then posting certain times. I'm gonna get to the post a little bit later. But the main reason why I mainly put those ad handles of certain channels and of certain YouTube users, as well as the handles when it comes to certain posts as well as certain descriptions, are mainly to actually discuss and then basically discuss the story about what that person is involved in. Number one. Number two, also it could be constructive criticism of basically what goes on that basically has been shown and has actually been presented. And I would basically do my best to actually explain and be as thoroughly honest and thoroughly truthful on what I see to the best of my ability. That's number two. Number three is because you want to try and give credit, you want to actually try to give courtesy, acknowledgement to the videos that you're actually using, to the people that actually make those videos, as well as the mainstream media outlets that do have handles of their own. For instance, CNN, Inside Edition, another one. Fox News Digital, definitely another one. NFL, NBA, Brooklyn Nets as an example. NHL, another example. I will utilize those handles to try to give courtesy because basically you actually took a part of their content just to try to make it your own as part of fair use on YouTube, right? I'm learning more and more about this whole copyright stuff literally every single day. I want to try and make sure that if I do use someone else's content and try and make it my own, actually try to transform it by nature, you still have to give that handle acknowledgement. They actually use a stuff just as like a lot of media outlets mainly do whenever they show either highlights or what they actually show the news coverage or what they actually show key highlights. They will actually give out the courtesy of that channel or production company involved whenever they use their stuff. That's what I intend to do here. I don't intend to copyright anything. I don't intend to use much of their stuff and have that as the majority of my videos moving forward. Absolutely not. But I try to make sure I actually get like a good snippet so I can try and tell y'all a story and actually trying to give you guys like a good feel of what I will be discussing literally up in that video. Those handles, those tags, they are not going anywhere. They're not being changed at all. They're not going to be stopped anytime soon. And the third reason when it comes to the posts, right? If I do directly tag somebody or like a YouTube handle based on a suggestion that I mainly post based on my story, in the case they want to actually talk something that's in relation to them, if they want to try and bounce off something like that and actually try and make it their own, or if they want to try and incorporate a story of theirs own and actually want to try and utilize it as a topic, whether it be something like modern dating or whether it be something like data science or even some sort of research that basically you may done or even in terms of sports where things can literally bounce around, I can tend to do that at times. Now, I will say definitely this. To those that maybe if those that are affected, if I use your handles basically in my titles or in my posts or even in the description, please, 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 please do not take it personal at all. All right. If you're not really interested in actually just going through some of the stuff that's there, if you're not actually just reading some that's there and looking over like some of my work and everything, or actually, how should I say this? If you don't want to look at the work, or you just want to try and brush it off, that's fine. That's your right. Do you? I understand there's a lot of people that's there. Just let it fly. Just let it be. You know what I mean? No holds barred. I want to take any further. I want to take any further. If you guys don't even, if you guys choose not to actually just like watch some of the stuff and actually try to make a review out of it, that's your right. I'm not going to force you. I'm not actually trying to basically trying to hold you hostage in any form, way, or possible. I just want to try and make this very, very clear. Please don't take it personal. If I do make a constructive criticism basically out of you based on like what I've seen, if I see any form of hypocrisy that's actually being exposed, don't take this up personally either. This is all basically my personal opinion based on like my personal life and actually what I've seen and what could be done mainly better. Whether or not you want to actually try to get this constructive criticism and actually follow up on that, that's on you. But be very, very careful of the possible consequences that could literally lie on the road if you're not careful. All right. And probably certain tags and certain posts, I may want to try and leave some people alone when it comes to maybe suggestions or maybe not even get involved into like some discussions or anything like that. Just let them do their thing. And that's basically their right. But those tags, those handles, they are not going anywhere anytime soon, as long as there's no illegal right or any other legal form or any other legal issues that actually come by. If there's none really there, if there's no defamation involved, if there's everything is actually done under fair use, if there's actually no criminal activity that's really involved that's within that legal system, it's not really about feelings at this point because anyone can use anybody's tag at any given time. Even in mine, they got like something to say because it's all free range, What they gonna do? They can try and get you for like a copyright claim for trying to use your stuff. They could definitely try to do that. They can't really try to hit you with copyright strikes or everything because all you're gonna do, you're gonna be risking litigation lawsuits, or you could risk definitely termination of YouTube here. So I want to try and make this very, very frank. Please do not take this stuff extremely personal. If you still have issues with me and actually tagging, your YouTube handle directly, you have full right to block me. That's fine. That's your right. Do not take it personal. Please don't even try and make that an issue or make something like that happen with me because that will not be changing anytime soon. This is more about the general audience. This is more about actually giving out the thorough information as best as you can to the folks that are literally listening, to the folks that actually want to actually trying to have an ear to hear based on what's really going on, which is really, really important. All right. I just really want to try and lay that out there. And the main reason why I may have those handles there and those tags there, trigger the algorithm. The main reason, just like a lot of people mainly doing, especially when you got like new people literally coming up and new people literally exploding, and they're trying to figure out every single way that they possibly can on how to grow their channel, on how to experiment, on how to utilize their channel to try and move forward and what they could try to do better. You know what I'm saying? Do not take this stuff personal. And I would not be fully surprised if my handle gets posted up in like some video, probably maybe 1, 2, 3 months from now, which probably could. I wouldn't be surprised if stuff like this may happen. I might have like a little bit of the same reaction, but I also understand that I come on YouTube, I come on TikTok. This stuff is a business. You know, the only way I could actually try to actually get somebody that has legitimate legal grounds or based on like some legal standpoints, that's when I could really try to hit them in pockets in a legal setting. But outside of that, when it comes to certain handles, when it comes to certain ordeals, when people really talk about you all the time, people may try to criticize you and like to try and give you slander and all that other stuff. You know, I talk about it in my videos. I give a little bit of details and I mainly move on and actually try to let it be on, let that stuff actually get to me, really down to you. I probably get angry, probably up in the moment. But I do my best to make sure I actually try to calm myself down whenever I'm up in the camera right in front of you guys to try and make sure that I stay as professional as I possibly can be in that situation. So again, in closing, you know, handles and tags, they are not going anywhere. Okay. I may make some changes when it comes to the title and the description. Maybe I'll make some changes when it comes to comments and posts, especially with certain, YouTube users and everything. I may make some small changes with that. But those handles, those tags, they are not going away anytime soon. And I'm being very frank with that. And with that, Christian Paul from the Nerd Chronicles is signing out. Good night.